Ho, 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 and all that. It's that time of year again. Dave's ready. He's got his hat on and he's been starving himself, ready for Christmas, aren't you, Dave? And it's that time of year again where we overindulge. And he's a nightmare. So we've got the mince pies going on. I'm doing health and safety jokes, and it's just that time for us that, you know, possibly some of us might take a little bit more in than we should have. I'm going to get rid of this because, you know, who needs to look at an elf? But I do have a glass of white port to keep me company while I regale you this evening, wherever you happen to be. Now, I hope that none of you have indulged so much over the Christmas period that you are feeling too bad. But at this time of year, there's a lot of talk that gets thrown around about detox, particularly in the industry, the sort of health and wellness industry, if you like. And so I wanted to have a little chat about the whole concept of detox and whether it was legitimate. So we have these ideas about detox and about, you know, what we should or shouldn't be doing, and then we can start to get sold stuff, as it were, that is going to apparently help us to cleanse out all the horrible stuff that we've taken in over the new year, and it's, you know, 14-day cleanse. Now, what I come across this one from Holland and Barrett. There we go. So there's our 14-day detox. And I tell you what, this stuff's not cheap either. Look at that, £25 in order to be able to detox yourself, as far as getting with whatever what is it called? Booty, I think it's called. Booty 14-day detox. There it is. And you know, it's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Because what's the reality of this? I notice also that it says that free from senna and laxatives, so presumably some of them do have that stuff in it. So having a little look around, what's the general view, and does it really work? And the short answer is no, and there's a reason for it. Just a quick interjection here: if you'd like to help an elf out, then please do consider supporting me on Patreon, £5 a month. It's very, very helpful, and I do appreciate it. I put things up there, the little bits of bonus and whatever I'm thinking about, a little bit more formal. If you're watching this on YouTube, then please subscribe, like, and do the things you're supposed to do on social media. And please, you know, let me know if you have any questions, if there's any subjects you'd like me to cover, and I'll be absolutely delighted to do that. There's nothing that you can put into your body that is going to speed up the process of detoxifying yourself or helping you to rid yourself of this of some poisons that you might have been taking in over the Christmas period and you know, over New Year or what have you. There was an article that came out, where is it? Let me see if I find it, in 2014. Where is it? There we go. And this chap here, this is in Lancet, and this chap, who was he? What's his name? He says Bernard Dixon, and it came out a few years ago, and he calls detox a mass delusion. And he says that I'm thinking of detox, a mass delusion that has spread from nowhere over the past decade and is now the subject of beliefs firm as convictions that the sun will rise in the morning, or that David Beckham is a footballer. Is he a footballer? He was a footballer. Anyway, so, you know, this idea that the body is being tainted by unseen pollutants, and so therefore, you know, the world around us is pretty poisonous, and so therefore we have to do something to rid ourselves of these poisons. And this isn't really invalid, but it's also not valid, because, yeah, there are a lot of poisons. Alcohol is pretty poisonous stuff. Caffeine, you know, sugar. These are all these things that are potentially poisonous. But anything in too much is poisonous. Water, you know, you can have hyponatremia, where people will take 5 litres of water in the space of I think it's within an hour, I think, and you basically drown. You'll have sort of renal failure. So the principle of detoxifying and taking your poisons out specifically can only be done one way. But let's have a quick look at some of the stuff that's come out over the years. And there was a study in 2005, Australia's consumer watchdog Choice, and they conducted a study of 7 detox kits. and reported that detox supplements provide little or no benefit over a healthy diet. And you know, a week or two's detox program isn't going to undo all the damage of all the crap you've been throwing into yourself, you know, for the last year. So it's like going to confession. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And there we go. Ben Goldacre I don't think he's got a column anymore. Had a column in The Guardian, but he wrote a book called Bad Science, and he has the sort of same approach. And asked if we ever need to detox, he just says, well no, it's a purification ritual. It's symbolic. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going through things that you feel is a good idea to go through from a ritual perspective. I don't have a problem with that. You know, bathing or some of the ceremonies that you might have that make you feel great. There's no question about doing something that makes you feel good. But the question is, are you actually doing the detoxification? We'll come into what's really happening in a minute. And in his book Trick or Treatment, Ben Goldacre sums it up by saying the only thing that is being removed from a patient on a detox regime is usually money. So I quite like that. You know, and at 25 quid for a packet of tea bags or what have you. The same thing goes for these, you know, foot baths and things that supposedly draw toxins out. And there's lots of reasons. You know, the bottom line is that they get wet and they change that colour. You know, the foot baths do that. Same with, you know, colonic. Now, I've been in clinics where colonic's been done. I know people swear by it, but it's marketed as a deep whole cleansing system. Does it? Sometimes it has herbs in it, sometimes it has coffee or what have you, and the thing about this is that the last 6 inches of your rectum will absorb things from whatever you put up it, whether it be coffee or alcohol or you know, drugs or anything like that. So that's why suppositories work, because it goes into the bloodstream rather than going through the stomach and then being taken out by the liver, which is what we're going to get into in a minute. So what we have in a system is we have a beautiful structure that is going to help us to do all the detoxification that we need. And so where are we with So Christmas Day, it's been estimated, and again, it's a bit of a dodgy estimate, that people will take in something in the region of 6,000 calories on Christmas Day. Well, if you want to break it down, I haven't got any here because I don't really like them. But if you take one of those little hero chocolates, you know, the ones that you get in the mixed box, and I looked up what the nutritional qualities of a hero was, and one of those little things, which weighs about 9 grams on average, contains anywhere from 34 grams for an eclair. To 45 for 54 for one of the dairy milk and Cadbury cream eggs. So one little bar contains on average about 50 calories. Now each of them has about 2 grams of fat and about 6 grams of carbs from sugar. So and they average about 45 calories per little cchocolate. What else? Around Christmas time, 250 ml glass of red wine, and let's face it, we're not gonna have a 175 mils or whatever it happens to be. We're not going to pour that bottle in and off we go. So 250 ml glass of red wine is about 180 calories, depending on the alcohol content of the wine, but on average for there. The lowest calorie drink, if you want to do some drinking, is going to be gin and tonic. So that measure comes out at 190 calories for a 25 centilitre measure of gin and ordinary non-slimline tonic. 25 cent, I mean, you know, if I pour a gin, it's not going to be 25 centilitres. It's going to be, you know, I do measure them, but it's going to be 50 centilitres. So we are going to, probably many of us, not most of us, not all of us, but many of us are going to overindulge, because we probably already do already, you know, day to day. But the great thing that we have that's going on for us is the thing about this beautiful bit of the body that we have is our liver. So let's have a look at our liver. So there it is. There's our liver. There's our amazing bit of kit that sits in our body, and it does all the detoxification for us that we might need it to do at any given point in time. Who was it that Dara Mohammed in 2014 wrote an article that said the idea that you can wash away your calorific sins and it's attractive. It's a nice antidote to our fast food lifestyle and alcohol lubricated social lives. Dara Mohammadi says, before you dust off your juicer or take the first tentative steps towards a colonic irrigation, the idea that you can flush your system of impurities and leave your organs squeaky clean and raring to go is a scam. And I have to say that it doesn't make any physiological sense. So if you feel a bit rubbish after the Christmas period because you've eaten too much or had too much sugar or drunk too much alcohol, the only way you can really detox is to no-tox. So once you stop putting that stuff in and you cut your sugar and you cut your caffeine, you cut your alcohol, and you reduce your heavy intake of these things, then what you'll find is you'll feel better. Is there anything that can help you to do that? Well, there's loads of things. Drink a bit more water through the day, get movement into your system. I don't have a problem with a juicer. I think juice is great. Get some juicing going on, get some smoothies going on. You replace the stuff that made you feel rubbish with stuff that is good for you. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Move about a bit more. That in itself is doing the job of cleaning you out, if you like. You're going to feel better because you haven't put the stuff in you that's going to make you feel worse. So let's have a quick look at our liver, because it is a great bit of kit. And the job of the liver is basically to do the thing that you think that you want it to do, that you think it's doing anyway. And so let me just open this up a minute. Okay. There it is. There's our picture of our liver. I'll go into there. And so a couple of components to it that we can run down onto it is we've got our hepatic duct, our portal vein, and of course our stomach, and we've got this little gallbladder sitting underneath in here. And this gallbladder is a very important bit of kit, because what it's doing is it's helping to emulsify the fat as the fluids come out, as the food comes from our stomach. It gets released through a little sphincter at the end of the stomach, which isn't listed here, but there's a sphincter that's sort of at the edge of this, and this is called the pyloric sphincter, and the pylorus is the end. So the stomach churns everything up. It has these concentric layers of muscle, squishes everything up like putting a cheesecake into a tumble dryer, and turns it into some liquid. The hydrochloric acid in it helps to clear down, sort of get rid of any bugs or nasties in it. And then it gets released into this earlier part, the first part of the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. And this is where it starts to get mixed. So if you've got fats in there, then the gallbladder, which is a storage house for your bile, releases this, and it helps to emulsify. Imagine eggs, egg yolks mixed with oil. It helps to emulsify it, because then it can break it down, because obviously fat is hydrophobic. It floats around. There's lots of fluid in there, and it needs to be mixed up so it can be then extracted, broken down into smaller bits of kit, and then absorbed and distributed around the body. So the fats are slightly different in as much as they don't get absorbed into the bloodstream like your other nutrients do. They go through the lymphatic system and then get circulated around the blood supply, the rest of the blood supply, before they go to the liver. But all the other things that are going into your liver are going to go through your stomach, and then as they go through the small intestine, the nutrients get taken out into the bloodstream, and then all that stuff in the bloodstream gets taken up into this little bit of kit. Where's he gone? Into this little bit of kit here through the hepatic artery, through the hepatic system. So then all the fluid, all the blood gets taken into the hepatic artery, hepatic portal vein, and the liver then cleans it all out. That's really what's going on. So the liver is doing an absolutely banging job of taking out every single bit of kit. Yeah. So the nutrient-rich blood that's in this system gets taken up through the hepatic portal vein into the liver, and then gets completely cleaned out. So the liver holds about about 13% of the body's blood supply at any given point in time, and it has a few different lobes in there, connected to a few small ducts, and it has a lot of functions. So the liver is doing a lot of stuff. For a start, it produces this bile that we've seen. We go back to our picture there. It produces the bile. That's why you can have, you know, your gallbladder removed, and you can still produce bile. It just doesn't get stored in the gallbladder. It produces a lot of the proteins for the plasma in blood. It produces cholesterol and lots of proteins to help carry fats around through the body. It converts a bit of excess glucose into glycogen for storage, and you know, that can then be later converted back into some energy, and you know, it can make and balance glucose as is needed. It regulates blood levels and amino acids, and these are the building blocks of proteins, and so it's regulating those amino acids on a constant basis. What else? Oh yeah, processing of hemoglobin. So for the liver stores iron. It's a big storage house of iron, and so therefore, you know, it's allowing that iron content out from there. Conversion of poisonous ammonia, which is what we're doing, into urea, which is the end product of metabolism. It's excreted in the urine. So when you take alcohol, you know, you have a little sip of alcohol. There's my little glass of white port. Cheers. And the liver is prioritizing that. It's converting different types of alcohol, getting that out of the system, and then pushing it out into the urine. It regulates blood clotting, does your liver, and it's a resistance for infections. So it's involved in the immune system, creating immune factors, and it takes away bacteria from the bloodstream. If there's bacteria in the bloodstream, the liver is going to clear that out. It takes away, it clears out the bilirubins, the stuff that it comes from red blood cells, is what makes the blood red. And if you've got a build-up of bilirubin, then you get this sort of yellowness of the skin and eyes. So once the liver's broken down all these harmful substances, it gets rid of the byproducts into the bile or the blood, and that goes into the intestines, leave the body, and goes out in the form of poo. You know, so that's what's going on. It goes back, so it's taken out, the blood's taken out, it's cleaned out by the liver, it gets put back into the intestine, and then as far as waste is concerned, and then blood products are filtered out by the kidneys, of course, and leave in the form of urine. So you've got this incredible built-in detoxification system that's happening in your body, and you know, you don't really have to do much. Now you notice also here that the liver is pretty close to pancreas, and all those bits and pieces, all those things are working together as well, which is, you know, another subject. So be kind to your liver, because there's only so much that it can take, and this is why, you know, it's recommended to have 2 days a week of no alcohol, where you give your system a break and you give it a bit of a chance to recover. And the liver does recover. It's notoriously well known that, you know, you can take bits of liver away, you can donate a bit of your liver to a loved one, and it can regrow. And as far as its function is concerned. So that's sitting inside of us all the time. Whatever you're going to put into your system, then your liver is going to clean it out anyway. So even if you are doing, you know, taking your 25-pound detox tea, your liver doesn't give a monkey's whether it's, you know, a glass of warm water or a bit of detox tea, as long as it's not got alcohol or sugar or anything else in it. You know, it doesn't really care. The chances are that it's actually going to have to deal with whatever is in that thing as well. So it's going to have to extract all that stuff, clean it all out, and then deal with it as well. So, you know, what's your best detox fluid? Well, you know, probably just a glass of water or something that's not white port. So there we go. You can't detox. It's not a thing. You can only no-tox. Don't detox, no-tox. And be safe, don't overindulge, and if you do overindulge, try and underindulge. All things in moderation to a point, as long as you're healthy with that, and then after that, you need to you know, consider a little bit a little bit whether to wind it back in. But for now, I am going to happily sip on my port and go unpack Dave's present. It's very difficult to buy for. What do you have a man that's on the bones of his arse but doesn't want for anything? It's a hard choice. So that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful, peaceful time over the Christmas and New Year period. I look forward to catching you next time on Not a Collection of Parts. Bye for now.